do that, but I do it anyway.
How's that right there?
I get to be
Boom.
Talking to it.
talk.
Right now. Okay, yeah. All right, we're good. Whatever.
Ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right, episode 16, WTF-DFW. Welcome back. Everybody recognizes this pretty face across from me. Mr. Lee Autry, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
You know, Lee is, the infamous Lee.
Uh-huh.
I saw his, picture on the Jumbotron at the Stars game a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was screaming his name from the audience. He's the bass player
There
from Bedlam.
there was one person screaming it.
It was like,
Yeah, it was great.
like in your mom.
No, we were actually sitting like above him. I saw him walking down, and I took their pictures and stuff like that. But as he was walking in at one point, I'm like, "Oh my God, is that Lee Autry from Bedlam?"
Whoa.
And everybody's turning around. They're like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's Lee Autry. He's the bass player."
I'm not eating a hot dog.
Yeah.
He just like brushes me off, and I was like, it was
You're
perfect,
embarrassing
but-
me. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah.
But he also plays at Frequency and Bullet. Is Bullet still a thing?
Bullet is no longer a thing.
Bullet's no longer a thing, so, but he does guest appearance like this coming weekend. I'm sure I'll be up on stage with like Velcro Pygmies, and a couple of weeks ago at Guto's party, you were playing with Metal Shop and all,
yep.
so, but if you haven't seen Lee around and you've been under a rock and, you haven't been come out from under the rock like Jesus Christ or anything, but everybody knows Lee, so thank you again for being
that's
back,
sweet.
his second time being on the show. So, what we got going on? Saturday, we celebrated my wife's birthday over at Studio 80. For those that don't know, a little history, Studio 80 used to be Fat Daddy's as well, I think, 9-10 years ago. And I met the new owner. He's like, "Oh, you with Fat Daddy's?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Thank you guys for this."
Wow.
And it's like, it was a cool place, right?
It was awesome.
It was a great time. We had a good time dancing and all, and like they hit their niche over there. So we celebrated. So thank you to all of our friends and all that came out. That was a badass time. Last week we also on this podcast talked about adversity that you deal with to prevent yourself from, or that could prevent you from playing or impacting your performance out there. I talked about the kids that were playing Black Lotus, whatever. That during that show, remember his bass cut out on him, but he kept going. He tried to fix it. The only way you figure out how to respond to those things is experience.
Real time, yeah.
And then the example I also gave was, have you booked for a show this coming weekend? It was a late pickup, and you're like, "Hey, I don't have a singer. Is it okay if, my singer, or my drummer sings, or my singer plays drums?"
Yes,
right? That's
the drummer's out of town, so our singer's going to play drums. And last time he sang and played.
Right.
But this time we were fortunate enough to have Shannon
Now
Cobb
Shannon's
fill
coming
in, and we're going to rock with him. It'll be fun.
But it's cool because you didn't turn it away. You're trying to figure out, well, how do we make this happen?
You make it work.
I absolutely love that. You just got to figure out a way, especially if you're, trying to get into a venue and you're getting that opportunity to play. Don't do everything you can to make it happen. And then once you're there, deal with the adversity. Don't let people see you sweat, I guess, is the old terminology.
Yep,
So,
the show must go on.
yeah. So last week, live band karaoke was on Wednesday with Shannon Cobb. Speaking of Shannon, Major Keys was there on Thursday, and that's, I guess, the tribute to like Billy Joel and all piano type music.
I wished I could have seen that. We've seen them before, and we loved them.
Really good. That's another one
really
of Terry Hansen's bands. He's the drummer. That's in God Knows
Oh,
Everything.
yeah, yes.
But
They
they're
were so
phenomenal.
good. Yep.
Friday was Back in Black with Ever the Essence, and that's Christy Johnson's, and Christy and Glenn Johnson are in Ever the Essence with Back in Black. Another great night apparently over there. I wasn't there. We were out celebrating, but I heard it was kind of packed in there. And Keith Mitchell Band played on Saturday, and Keith Mitchell's the house band at Billy Bob's, so a little bit of two-stepping happening on Saturday night. But another great week, over at Fat Daddy's, a good way to close out the month for us over there. And before we get into the shows and all that coming up, we got some big things coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about this week's topic of conversation, and I'm glad Lee's here, because the conversation that I was thinking about is like, what are some of the things that could be preventing bands from actually getting into a venue, right? Some of the obstacles, some of which they can control, some of which they can't control, like some of the things, like depends on the style of music. We talked about that. is it a screamer band trying to get into a place where there are a bunch of 50 and 60-year-olds?
Right.
Not going to work. It's about knowing your demographic. I thought of, too many of the same tributes. So somebody posted the other day on a podcast saying, maybe you could try getting some Motley Crue tributes in there. I'm like, first of all, we do.
Yes.
In fact, we have Crew the Tattoo coming up in a week or so. But I don't know how, there are 3 or 4 different Crew bands, I think, that are between here and Houston.
Right.
What's her name is one of the dancers in a Crew tribute.
Yvette.
Yvette, yeah. So she's in one. I know our friend Nikki is in another one. She's a singer for Crude and Tattooed, but there's one out of Houston. I don't, it's, oversaturating the market. Same thing with Van Halen.
Right.
I know we have Van Hagar comes up from New York and in Halen with Gilpin. That's always a good one as well. But how many Van Halen tributes can you have playing at a club over and over again? And what I try to do is spread it out. But so preventing you from getting into a venue, I thought of the style of music not there, and too many of the tributes. But what are some of the things that you think could be preventing a band from getting in?
Well, actually preventing, I couldn't tell you what that is. It really depends on the band and who's trying to get them the shows.
I was thinking maybe those anti-Israel protests. Prevent anybody from getting anywhere.
Sure, that's they're out there boycotting.
That's a tough question. There are places that I would like to play that you just can't get into without knowing somebody or getting an opening spot for a band, through someone.
Okay, having a good contact to be able to get into the place or getting through to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I field a ton of emails. A ton of them come through the info at Fat Daddy's, live, looking for book your band, and I probably get 50 or 60 of those per week. I don't have an opportunity to look at all of them. I do have my day job, and I do most of my bookings in September and October of the previous year.
Right.
So that could be a real struggle for people is how do you get through to somebody over there without, maybe it's about, who you know or being able to network. Because if you're going to the venue, maybe you can network and meet the person booking it, but if you're trying to get into a venue and you don't even go there.
Well, they'll tell you email, and I've never gotten anywhere emailing. Right. You have to go in person, meet the person, let them get to know you a little bit, and then hopefully.
So, and that ties to some of the topics that I had, or 2-3 months ago I talked about it, but get to the venues and meet people.
Sure.
And Bobby was here, and he said, shake hands. Get to know the sound guy. The sound guy's a good in.
Sure.
Especially if the house went, I don't know how many people go to Brian, and Brian's like, let me see if I could at least get your name out there so that he knows who you are. But shaking hands, get to the venue, let them see that you're supporting the venue, even though you're not playing there,
Right.
Or you may not be supporting necessarily a band, but you're popping in there to see whether or not you can meet them. But that's a good way for at least to kind of break the ice and get through to somebody there.
And if you have kind of at least a reputation, a little bit of one, within the business, you can get your foot in the door, and that kind of helps.
And that's another one of my notes was your reputation or history.
Sure.
And either at a venue or your reputation in the market.
Yeah, the things you do in the past, it counts for what you're going to do in the future.
Oh, for sure. And especially if you've been a dick, at a venue, word travels.
Hey,
I know.
Yes, and I know a few of those cats that got thrown out of some top venues and weren't ever allowed back.
Yep.
So.
I have some that are blacklisted, and there were some that I inadvertently blacklisted wrongfully. And I'll say one of the...
Sure.
Because I always, I don't always admit when I'm wrong, but, I was blaming Scott Kimes for a long time for something with that band Red Line Drive.
Sure.
He's got, documented evidence that it wasn't him.
Right.
And I thought it was him, so I was like, you know what, you're not welcome back. I'm not going to have you back. And we got to talking a couple of weeks back at a live band karaoke.
Sure.
Oddly enough, at another night he was out there. He's not out there supporting a band. He's not out. He just happened to be out there for karaoke. We got to talking, and I mistakenly blacklisted him based upon a scenario that happened in the past.
Half the story.
Yeah, I had half the story, and I felt bad. I mean, now I don't have any openings for him because I did book everything, but, he got blacklisted based upon a past behavior. And another thing I think about, like this weekend, we went to Oscars in Burleson on, I guess, Friday night. Took my wife over there, part of her birthday, and a couple of her friends that came in from Baton Rouge. Brad and Angie, I think you met them this weekend also, but we went to go see Cody Canada over there.
Oh, right.
But, Christian and I talk a lot, and he's always like, hey, what do you think about this band? What do you think about this? And if I have a bad taste in my mouth with a band, or they don't do well, which is another one of they don't bring any revenue, or don't bring any crowd, they don't market themselves, I'm not afraid to tell another venue owner, because I don't want them to go through,
Sure.
I don't want
Wasting
them to
the
fail,
time.
I want
Sure.
them to be
Right.
able to be
Lose
successful
money.
as well. So, and on the flip side, if a band does well, he knows. I mean,
Right.
I've invited him to shows over at Fat Daddy's. He's got Iconic playing there this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he knows Iconic because he's been out to Fat Daddy to see him, and I told him to come out there and invited him out. So kudos to him.
Yeah, very good.
But, I mean, we talk to each other,
Sure. The word gets around,
Heck, yeah. The other thing a lot of people don't think about, but I actually spoke with Shannon about this a little bit the other day, is how many bands is a person in? Because a person could oversaturate a market. So Shannon, for example, he's in Rockaholics, that 70s band, Metal Shop. He was in, again, Bullet. I don't know, he does live band karaoke here, does live band karaoke, I think, at Lava. He does, do an acoustic thing. So,
Right. It's his career. I mean, that's how he makes a living,
absolutely.
And you can't, if you're in one band, you can only get booked so many times throughout the year. So if you get in multiple bands, you're busy throughout the entire year.
Right, but the other issue is, and I told Shannon, I said, it is real because somebody did mention it to him. People could get sick of seeing. I love Shannon.
Oh, great. And he's going to sing for us Saturday. All right, man. Oh, dang it. He's oversaturated. Oh.
But I purposely avoided booking certain bands or spreading them out more because I don't want people to get sick of the same people up on the stage all the time. I get the only reason you're booking them is because you're friends with them. Yeah, that has something to do with it, but I'm also smart enough to know I'm not going to saturate the market.
Right.
But the reason why they're not playing as frequently is I'm trying to not have these people back always, every other week.
Well, we're gonna disguise him, We're gonna put on a disguise.
Put him in like a brunette's wig.
Yeah, big old afro, and instead of a big sausage in his pants, it'll be like a little Vienna sausage, just to throw everybody off.
Little light switch.
Yeah,
like
just a little tiny little ding ding, and then everybody will. That can't be Shannon.
Hold on.
No, but those are all realistic issues that could prevent somebody from getting into a band, and I think it's important to note, it's not necessarily the venue. Yes, I made mention, I'm already booked. For most of this year, I kept a couple of dates open just in case, something happens.
Sure.
Like, I had a national act, and I sent the contract in, we sent the deposit in, but we booked Enough's Enough. Coming in sometime in October. I'm not going to specify the date, but it took some rearranging to do. I left another date or two open in October, so the band that was booked on that date, I asked them about, hey, can you switch to this date and to make it work? So I leave some of those strategically open to allow me,
Sure.
To be able to reschedule it. And then, just so you know, Lee's band, Bedlam, I think, Frequency is going to be opening up for Enough's Enough, so you'll see the date, surprise, surprise, but,
Right.
I'm excited for that, and I know Guto is,
Yeah,
it's
yes.
like, hey.
Yes.
And I think somebody else, was it
Super.
your drummer, I think?
Toby?
Yeah, Toby, he
Right.
texted me yesterday, he said, so I heard a rumor.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it is happening, but,
big
the
fans.
dates could be booked already, so, make sure you're staying in touch with the venue.
Correct.
Because
That's
when
what
they
I was
start
going to
getting
say.
in touch-
You want to not just give up after the first try. You
Right.
want to stay in the venue's eyesight. If they see your name over and over, eventually maybe they'll say, hey, they're pretty consistent. Let's give them a show.
Absolutely, and this year, well, I realized that last year when I was booking for this year, there were certain bands that I completely forgot about. And I felt horrible because I haven't booked them in like 2 years. And I always look at my calendar, and then I start writing down, like how successful was the band, how'd they do, how many people they bring out, and then try to, go down my list. And there were some people that I inadvertently left off the list because they didn't play for us last year. And I didn't book them for this year. And I'm like, oh my God, like I feel horrible.
Yep, out of sight, out of mind, I'm telling you.
So that's a good point. Make sure you're staying in touch with the venues. No, I mean, don't, stalk them.
Oh, no, every day. Every day. Be standing out front looking through the window. That's how you do it.
Signs out there,
That's how you do it.
stickers up on their windows,
exactly. And then they're like, give them a show so they go away. Just get them out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But those are all, issues that could be out there. But stay in touch with your venues.
Sure.
Don't be consistent. Don't be annoying. But also understand that, there are other shows and be out there. And sometimes, we'll say the band, I don't know how to say this politically correct, but the band just doesn't, to me, I don't know. There are some bands that are just not talented enough, and I don't want to make it seem like, oh, Fat Daddy's got this attitude about, but, you're not there yet.
Not polished enough for
not polished
a venue
enough,
that
and
size.
And you're not drawing the crowd. When I see them at other venues and all, and it's nothing personal. It's just when I'm at a venue, I see another band, especially a band I like that I've never heard of. I'm like, ooh, I want to talk to them. I want to see what they're about, or they could be a talented band and the venue just isn't right for them, and maybe, it's something I could add them to a show down the road. So I'm out there and I'm always looking to see.
Hey, you cracked that door open for Empires.
Yeah,
you
I
cracked
finally
that door.
did, right? Empires.
You did.
Everybody knows about Empires,
Yep.
but
And you let
I've
them
been
in
friends
there.
with Bush and Darren on Facebook for years, but I'm glad I
They
did.
don't disappoint. They are so good.
Absolutely. And Empires does original. Empires also does
Those covers, they
covers.
mix.
And then, I'm stoked, and finally, it's ironic. I messaged Darren about something completely different, and I look, and the previous time we were messaging, he was like, hey, I'm in this band Empires, that we could do a bunch of covers and all. We'd love to get in Fat Daddies. And I think that was like a year and a half ago. And I was like, oh, man. But, yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
I just had an opening, and their name popped up, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to hear them. I want to do it, So you were at that, right? We went to that show first before we went someplace.
Yes, over to Guido's birthday.
Oh, that's right. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so we were able to see them, but I'm glad I did, and I'm looking forward. I think I do already have them booked for another show, maybe next month. Or the month after
good.
that, I
Awesome.
think. So,
once-
that's another perfect example.
Yeah, once people in our area, get a load of those guys, they'll start coming out, man, because Bishop's an incredible front man.
Absolutely.
He's an entertainer.
And
they're
Darren
all
doesn't
great.
suck to be able to be
he's awesome.
endorsed by Gibson.
Hey,
and
I was
Artie Ball and all of them.
lucky and grateful to be in a band with Darren, so I know how good he is.
Absolutely.
Great songwriter.
Yeah, and I'm just so stoked I was able to meet them. So
Right.
that's it. That was my topic for the week. This week, what do we got going on? We got live band karaoke tonight. Today is Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Whiskey, Texas Whiskey and You, that Chris Stapleton tribute. Andrew Dolan from Burleson. He'll be in there tomorrow. Friday, Ray mentioned it.
Pygmies.
Velcro Pygmies,
Yes.
Love is War. That show Friday. And you're wearing the rock stars of tomorrow. I have a kid named Trenton Page. He's, I think, a 16-year-old guitarist out of Cleburne. He's
Nice.
out of the Rockstars world, out of Rockstars Mansfield, but he's going to be playing 5 songs to tracks.
Oh, nice.
And just going up there and shredding a little bit.
Oh, very cool.
16 years old.
Oh,
he's
man,
going
I
to
gotta
be
see
playing
that.
Cliffs of Dover from Eric Johnson. He's going to be
Wow.
playing Little Wing from Stevie Ray Vaughan. Joe Satriani.
Oh.
So, these kids are going to be up there. He'll be playing from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and super gracious.
Wow.
Chase and Cam said it's absolutely okay that he plugs into their
Yep,
amp and
they
all
love
that,
that
which is
stuff.
bad. I absolutely love it. So thank you to Cam and Chase and you guys in the Pygmies. So looking forward to Friday night. And the cool thing is Trenton is actually going to be competing Sunday in the 10 under 20. competition. It's a national competition and narrowed it down for the Dallas International Guitar Festival, which runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. He won so far the placement in the top 10 kids under 20 on a kind of a guitar shred competition.
Nice.
You know, out of thousands of
And the
people.
fact there's that many competing in it is so nice.
Oh, it makes you feel so good for the future of live music, you know. But yeah, so there were 10 of them going to be playing, so this is kind of another warm-up for them, and that's why I wanted to get them on there.
Where's that?
That's at Dallas Market Hall, I think, down over there. But that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Rockstars of Tomorrow is the big sponsor of that as well. This year, I think this is the first year they're doing it, so you'll see their name all over the outdoor stage. They have a couple of booths in there as well.
Very cool.
I'm trying to get out there for the weekend. Darren's going to be out there, Darren Wise.
Yeah, he does that every year.
He'll be out there in a couple of booths, and he might be playing with some of them on the stage Friday or Saturday. I can't remember when. But then Saturday night, you got to come back to Fat Daddy's again because we have the Maroon 5 band, Animals. I mean, you came out the last time. They're
awesome.
unbelievably talented.
So good.
And I mean, unbelievably talented. The singer, the
if you're a
band
Maroon
itself.
5 fan, you definitely
Carlos is the bass player, right?
He's incredible.
Super talented. If you ever even listen to Maroon 5 on the radio, you got to come out to Fat Daddy's. They're phenomenal.
For some reason, I don't like to admit it, but I am.
Me too, and I don't admit it either. It's kind of like Nickelback. I'm like, no.
No.
And then most importantly, though, if Animals wasn't enough, we have the area's hottest new band out there called Frequency.
Oh, boy.
And that's, Mr. Autry over here with Guto. Mike.
John.
Shannon is going to be guest singing on, Saturday night as well. So.
Wait, you're in Frequency?
So I'm really looking forward to that. Frequency, you guys play a lot of I'm not going to say oddball, like a variety of rock songs that you may not hear every day.
Right.
But then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I remember this song. You're like, yeah, it's a badass tune. So
trying to bring back memories.
Yeah, and so I come out and support Frequency. Last minute show that they're playing with Animals. Again, Friday night, Velcro Pygmies, Love is War, which is Max and his wife.
Chrissy, Max and Chrissy.
And then Trenton Page opening up that set at 7:30. So killer weekend we have going on at Fat Daddy's. So next week then, live band karaoke again on Wednesday. Thursday is Vital Signs, that Survivor tribute. I saw them a couple of weeks back and they were unbelievable. They played with Dallas Boston Experience.
Wow, I missed
But this will be a free show on Thursday night, all ages. And you don't realize, really, Survivor was a pretty good rock band.
Oh, they were awesome. Vocally, wow. I mean.
I was listening, and again, it's another one of those, like, holy shit, I know this song, not Eye of the Tiger. Like 7 or 8 other songs that they played. I was like, I remember this song.
I don't know why you give Eye of the Tiger so much crap. I love that song. It gets me pumped.
Oh, sure, yeah. We'll
That's how he starts his day.
Right, he's in the mirror doing his hand. Well, not necessarily doing his hand, but then next Friday night, we have Blind in Texas, a new band, I guess Grace's band,
Yes,
the Wasp
I can't
Tribute.
wait. We were going to go see them at Tease, their debut, but I took the show at Fat Daddy's, so I'm going to miss it. I was like,
for Saturday?
Yeah, so when they come to
Saturday.
Fat Daddy's, I'm going to be here because I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And they're playing with Out of the Cellar, a rap tribute, which I think Taylor Dennis is in that one as well. I think Taylor's in the Rat tribute. I think he's in the Wasp tribute. I'm not 100%
Hey, he's
sure.
in my band and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know it. He's in
I'm going to ask him about it. 'Cause next
lost.
week, Taylor Dennis will be our guest on here. But it'll be the Wasp tribute, the Out of the Cellar tribute, and then Osmosis. All
Nice
playing on one
lineup.
show on next Friday night.
It's a good lineup.
And then Saturday night, we have Rockaholics, again, talking about Shannon, with Crude and Tattooed, the Molly Crew tribute. Our girl Nikki is the singer for that, and the biggest sweetheart that I've ever met. So you got like 2 great weeks. Don't get sick of Fat Daddies. Come on out.
Right.
You got Friday and Saturday this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week, or Thursday of this week as well.
Maybe we should have a tattoo artist out there.
Right.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Guest tattoos.
Yeah.
I know a few.
There are some like, like on Halloween, you know, you could come in and pick from like 10 or 15 different tattoos.
Get you a pumpkin
for like
on your butt.
Something.
Again, another one.
Another one.
Right on the hole.
But other than that, don't forget, today, all day today at Fat Daddy's is industry night, so if you're in the service industry, come on out. We have drink specials for you all. It's Friday, first Friday this week is MISD.
Yeah.
Teachers,
Yeah.
if you work for MISD, we have drink specials for you all day on Friday. Drink specials and specials for food. That's your one day. It's the first Friday of every month to celebrate you teachers out there. So
Cinco de Mayo too.
is it Cinco de Mayo?
No. But
No,
we
it's
have
not.
specials on Cinco de Mayo.
That's Trace de Mayo.
Trace de Mayo.
Trace de Mayo.
Well,
And then,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying.
then Sunday is Cinco de Mayo.
There you go.
Right?
See?
And we have a ton of
You
drink
can do that.
specials, and the drinks look really badass too.
And we get
So-
some kind of special
And some
burger.
food special as well.
Nice.
On Sunday,
Very
so don't
cool.
get sick of Fat Daddies. We have a lot of cool stuff going on, so please don't get sick of it. Come on out. It's okay. You know, you can admit it to your people that you like hanging out there, and you know, what's 6-7 times over the course of a week? It's not too bad. Don't forget Thompson's. They're open. You know, we closed down yesterday for a private event. The company paid to rent out the entire building yesterday from us.
Nice.
Killer day.
Yeah.
But they brought in casino, they brought in a
Casino,
band down in
nice.
the basement, they brought in, you know, their own food they had catered. We could pretty much, you know, take care of anything, any of your private events that you could think of. So rehearsal dinners, engagement parties, corporate outings, birthday gatherings, any of that, reach out to Vanessa and our team out at Thompson's to be able to book your next gig out there, not live music gig, but your event.
Party.
How about that? Party.
I think
Yeah.
P.
your
Diddy
next
is going
party.
over there for one of his freak-offs, I think.
Yeah, sure. A freak off. Lee's special event.
Yep.
Have you ever been there, Thompson's?
Yes, remember we went.
Did
We don't even
we did.
remember.
That's
See,
right.
look at
See,
you.
the drinks are that good.
Man, see, I'd have
We
sat out
were
of mine.
hanging out in
Yeah,
the
he forgot about
basement.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that's right, up at the cigar lounge too, you smoke cigars,
Yeah,
not
dude.
even a cigar smoker.
No, you told me not to hell as I inhaled it. I'm like, too late. I'm already buzzed. You know?
That was a good time, see, I don't remember
That
it
was-
anyway, which means it was even better time than I thought.
That wasn't a cigar.
Marksman,
Touche.
new gun of the month, we have 3 of them, we didn't get our 4th one in
Yeah,
from
we did.
Mansfield
We
yet.
did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's a gun.
It goes pew
So-
pew.
Yeah.
Go to marksmanfirearms.com, check out our guns of the month, but Colleen, we have a Taurus TS9 9mm for $259.
I had one of those.
That's I mean, for a 9mm handgun, that's pretty good. Wichita Falls, not to be outdone, they have a Taurus G2C 9mm for $249, so $10 less. Another, you know, badass little gun, you know, $250 for a firearm, that's not too bad. Granbury's got AK May Century Arms VSKA 7.62 by 39
It's an AK.
AK-47 for $675.
That's good.
So that's an incredible price. You think about just, you know, that AK design. Everybody recognizes it with that, you know, magazine that flows out the front. It's a badass gun. So that's $675. And we'll talk more about, you know, the Mansfield one after I find out what it is, but they didn't
Sure.
give me the information
I'll
at the
look it
time,
up.
so.
Keep going.
And then don't forget, construction on Capone's Drink Easy and Sports Bar out in Burleson. Just waiting on the last bit of that permit. I mean, we tore the building down, we're ready to start our construction, so another little sports bar coming your way. And the plan is still, hopefully by October, November timeframe, to be opening that. So that's all that's going on in our little neck of the woods out here, Mansfield in the DFW area, so.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you here. We had, it's a Ruger, 10/22s, 22 long rifle,
Oh,
carbine for $299.
$299
Yeah.
for a 22 rifle. And
Good deal.
there's nothing better to go out there and, you know, killing turtles and squirrels and a little varmint.
What are you doing?
And like one of my 22s is suppressed also.
He goes after the slowest target, a turtle. I think I can hit that. I love it. He didn't say a rabbit, you notice, or anything quick. It's like a turtle.
Well, the reason I bring up
rabbit.
turtles is turtles will absolutely destroy a good tank at a
Gotcha.
on a ranch because they eat all your fish.
Oh, right.
You know,
Sure.
so they
Oh,
eat
yeah.
all the fish eggs. So you know,
Yep.
there is some kind of value in.
I know. I just lied.
No,
Thought it was funny. Hey, no, now look at you. You're like, oh, hey, I got a reason here. A
There is
reason.
I just don't go out
Goddamn
killing
turtle.
turtles.
Yeah, and they're slow. They're easy targets, you know.
They really
I
are.
like to hunt turtles too. It's like, hey,
Man,
look
that
how
22
Water turtles.
Yeah,
How
water
about that?
turtles.
I'll say
bounced
water
right off
turtle.
that shell.
Yeah, I
You see
hate
that
water
little head
turtles.
popping up?
I hate those.
You know, like they're
Man,
vicious.
when I'm fishing, I can't stand it. They eat my bait and
See? So
Yeah.
there you go. I'm not
Shoot
just a
'em.
cruel dude out there killing turtles,
Innocent turtles.
as they're walking across the street.
that's what I was picturing. You're like, there's one. Oh man, that's a fast
No, I
one.
just think about the
Oh.
old cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
The turtle running. I don't know.
That guy was 300 years old.
Right, I know, right? Lived his whole life. Some
Did you know
asshole
a
shot
turtle
him.
isn't like, a turtle is actually part, or the shell is actually a part of the turtle. It's not like they, jump from shell to shell. It's
No,
actually
that's
part of
a
their,
crawfish.
I thought it was their
Skin.
clothes. They jumped. Yeah, they just changed shell to shell.
like the Ninja Turtles or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
I don't-
that shell's cool.
Good God.
We went off topic. I'm sorry.
What,
All right.
what are those names? Leonardo.
Michelangelo?
Yeah, there we go. There's two.
Donatello.
Donatello.
There's three.
Oh, shit.
Maybe that could be the topic.
All right, other than that, we're out of here.
right.
Thank you again for Lee
Hey,
coming
thanks for
out short
having me.
notice.
I appreciate
we
it.
love having you out here, but don't forget,
Fun
he's playing
stuff.
out there on Saturday night, Fat
Yeah,
Daddies.
can. Come out Friday
say
night,
hi,
too.
take a picture with them. It'll be worth hundreds in about 50 years. But other than that, we'll
Hundreds of
see you
what?
out there at Fat
Yeah.
Daddies. Thank you for everybody listening. Follow us, subscribe, share, do what you can, but appreciate you all. Peace.